Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So today we are going to be talking about another beautiful succulent that is called as Parva. I'll put the name on the screen. It's an extremely easy to grow succulent, especially if you are beginner. You can definitely add it in your collection. It has these really thick pointed leaves. It looks absolutely beautiful. It looks a lot like our Agoides, but it's not an Agoides. So if you are looking out for a succulent that has a very different structure to it, then Parva is one of your succulent. You can add it in your collection. It's pretty simple to grow. Now the light conditions, you have to give it a good amount of light, otherwise it will start to stretch. It will not stay compact like how you see it over here. So a good amount of either morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours or indirect bright light that has to be throughout the day for around 8 to 9 or 10 hours, whichever is available. If you're growing it indoor, ensure you have a good quality of grow light. Now the soil also remains the same. You have to ensure that the soil is loose, porous and well draining. Water only when the soil is completely bone dry. Now when I'm talking about watering, you have to do a complete watering once the soil is dry. So basically the soil from the upper level to the lower level should be completely bone dry, and then when you water it, the water should pass through the drain hole. That indicates that you have done a complete watering. Do not add water very less, otherwise the succulent will get dehydrated. You have to have a balance with watering. You shouldn't do too much of watering, which can lead to overwatering. You shouldn't do very less watering, which can lead to dehydration. So you have to have a balance when you tend to water. Now it is an absolutely beautiful succulent. It does quite well. Mealybugs are not much of an issue because the leaves are very thick. So that's not much of an issue, but it's always better to do a routine check and sprinkle some dry cinnamon powder on regular intervals. Now when I say regular intervals, probably 3 weeks or probably once in 3 weeks or once in 4 weeks, you can do the sprinkling of cinnamon powder. Now the pot size that I have used over here is again a 7 centimeter pot. Whenever you're dealing with succulents, do not go with a pot that is very big. Just go with a very small little pot, and that is going to work out really well. Ideal depth should be around 7 centimeter, 8 centimeter or 9 centimeter. All of these can work out really well. Now guys, propagation is pretty simple. I haven't propagated, I haven't done a leaf propagation, but you can separate the offsets once they reach a decent size, and then you can increase or you can multiply your collection. Talking about soil, ensure that it is very lean in nutrients. Now because it belongs to the genus of Echeveria, it is going to go dormant during the winters, and summer is their growing periods. So if you want to add any fertilizers, do it during the summers, don't do it during the winters, otherwise that is definitely going to harm your succulent, because adding of fertilizers when a succulent is resting is not a very good idea. Now talking about soil, it has to be very lean in nutrients throughout the year. Do not put in loads and loads of nutrients. That does not work really well for the succulents. You can do this with other plants, you can do this with flowering plants, but please don't do it with succulents. A lot of people tend to fill and load the soil with so much of nutrients, and then the succulent starts to rot. So please don't do that. Even if you do not add any fertilizers, like I don't add any fertilizers, still the succulents tend to do quite well. So if you are skeptical about using fertilizers, don't do it. It's as simple as that. The succulent will still do quite well. But in case if you want to add it, then you'll have to do it during their growing season, which is during the summers or early summers. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.